These are scriptures that you can read every day under different topics, um, topic headings based on the previous Sunday school lessons from the previous Sunday. You can read them all throughout the week. And Mondays is, I may read all these tonight. This is based on a lesson 2 weeks ago. I forgot about doing it. I was going to do it, but I forgot about it. I'll try to get into the habit of doing this. Rebellion Rebllion Judged. 1 Samuel 15:22 through 29. And I think I know what one of those verses are already. I'll be reading out of the King James Version. I imagine one of them is where it says, rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. It'll take a while to find it. 15, I think it said, 22 through 29. I wish I could figure out how to do the first without having to hunt it up, like you usually can find most of them. Okay, 22 through 29. And Samuel said, hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Here it is. Yep, here it is. Verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And for those of you that know the Bible, been raised in church all your life, been taught the Bible all your life, you know what happened there. Eventually, he does go into witchcraft. That's exactly what happens to him. He looks to a witch of Endor. He crosses that borderline. God turns him over to a reprobate mind where he can't repent, and he tries to seek the Lord, but he can't do it, and he winds up going to the witch of Endor. 29 through 29. Let's see where. Okay, I want to make sure I read all the verses. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord, and thy words, because I feared the people, and obeyed their voice. That shows what fear can do. We do need to be careful of fear. It is, if it's yielded to, it is a sin. We don't have to feel condemned about it, but we do need to take it seriously, because Jesus said that's the first thing he talks about. The fearful and the unbelieving shall depart in the lake of fire. I think he means cowardly. I used to be afraid of the baptism in the Holy Spirit. I don't think I would have went to hell for it though. But anyway, I'm glad I eventually got over that. God was very, very patient with me about that, and I thank him for it. And that's the one difference in the New Testament and the Old Testament. Usually in the Old Testament, you sin one time, that was it. Now there's 2 accounts in the book of Acts. Ananias and Sapphira. 3 accounts. Well, you can say that's 1 account, but 3 people. They drop dead instantly. But I mean, for the most part, in the New Testament, he's a God of grace. But we certainly, shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? And especially the day we're living in, Jesus could come back at any moment. So we certainly need to use his grace as he intends and take it seriously. 25. Now therefore, I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord. I think I'm gonna just wind up making a video on this. This is some good devotional material. He asked Samuel to pardon his sin. He didn't ask God to pardon his sin. He didn't ask Samuel, will God let me repent? Can I repent to God? He said, Samuel, pardon my sin, almost like, Yes, he was a priest, but he should have, asked Samuel, if if anything, to Samuel, he should have said, Samuel, can I pray to God and repent? He shouldn't have asked Samuel to pardon his sin. That, just like the Pharisees told Jesus, he said, who can forgive sins but God alone, God only. Saul didn't realize that. He asked Samuel instead of God to forgive his sin. He should have repented to God himself like David did, whether he offered any sacrifices or not. He should have just, if nothing else, he should have just got on his face before God like David did and said, God, I'm sorry, I really want to repent if you'll let me. That's what he should have done, but he didn't do that. He said, Samuel, forgive me. Now therefore, verse 26. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel. 27. And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle, and it rent. I think that means Saul laid hold of Samuel's mantle. And Samuel said unto him, the Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and hath given it to a neighbor of thine that is better than thou. 29, last verse about this topic. And also the strength of Israel will not lie, L-I-E, nor repent, for he is not a man that he should repent. I think apparently what Samuel was saying there is kind of like, just because you've sinned and God's taken the kingdom from you, Saul, doesn't mean that God's going to destroy Israel. It doesn't mean that Israel's going down with you just because you're going down. I'm still going to keep Israel, like I said I would. Kind of like what he told, that's what, God forced that guy that tried to curse Israel, Balaam. He said, God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. So I think God was telling Saul, and more so all of Israel, well, y'all don't worry about Saul. He's going down, but Israel's going to stay afloat. No matter what happens to Saul, I've got my hand on Israel, and I'm not going to let my plans for Israel sink with Saul. Just like there was a man, I'm not going to call his name, he was a real good man, real good preacher. He's come back to God, but he made it sound like, and I even fell for it, I think most of the body of Christ did. He said, God told me if I fail, there's nobody else that will be able to do what he's called me to do. Well, in a sense, that was true. But he made it sound like God told him to spread the gospel around the world, and it would not happen if he failed. Well, several years later, guess what? He failed. And he's very, compared to what he used to be, when he said that, his ministry is almost nothing but a shell, just a skeleton of what it used to be. God's program, God's plans will still go on. He said, Jesus said, I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it, no matter who falls. Thank God for that.